You weren't broken. You're just exhausted from giving parts of yourself that you was never meant to give. Hello, and welcome back to Bitch You Can. I'm Amy, I'm your business big sis, I'm your healing hype girl, and I'm that voice to remind you, bitch you can. Welcome to episode 22. I thought it was trauma, it was just intuition. So this sounds like a funky one, I know. But just roll with me on this. So last week, there was no episode that went out. The week before was episode 21, which was the previous episode. And in that episode, I was chatting about hustle culture, how it just needs to fuck off, like I'm done with it, talking about my own experience through it, and really digging into, I didn't have the answers on that one for myself. I know that there's some form of connection, some form of trauma response. There is something there that where I don't feel safe to rest. I don't feel good with rest and I make myself feel guilty for it. And for me, being busy was what was equaling success, but I didn't feel successful. I told you I was going to dig into it. And now I am a strong believer of nothing in this world is a coincidence. There is a reason why that came through for me. I then actually booked in for Reiki, and I'm going to dive into that with you. And it's a funny one. I did the podcast on that Tuesday, I recorded it, it ran out on the Thursday. Something happened on the Friday, I'm not going to go into it, but it just opened up, wowee, how much I actually give and how much I've been giving from empty. I didn't let it consume me, I just did what I had to do, let it all go, fine, perfect, we move on. Saturday I was okay. Sunday I went in on myself. Luke was even like, oh my, what's going on, are you okay? And I was like, I just feel so overwhelmed and I feel so sad because I had a realization of I give a lot but I don't give to myself. Any of you who've been listening to this podcast, and any of you that have worked with me or anything, you know I will always harp on how you cannot pour from an empty cup. And I still stand by that, and I always will stand by that. But I had a real realization that I thought I was doing all those things, and I thought I was giving to myself, but actually deep down, I wasn't. So I'm going to be so fucking honest and open with you in this episode. I know I am every episode, but this one is real time. This isn't a past experience. This is what's going on right now in my life. And I want to share it with you because we're in this together, right? And I said in the last episode, I'm going to go and pick it and I'll come back. Let's go from the beginning. I went for Reiki with the most incredible woman. Her name's Claudia. She's based in Folkestone in Kent, if anyone is local that is listening, but she also does online coaching as well. I'll put her Instagram and her details in the show notes because honestly, I have a lot to thank Claudia for. She has opened my mind up and she has helped me in so many ways. I've got my second session with her today, so I'm doing the podcast before I go to her because I thought I know what's going to happen, because obviously last week I had it on the Monday and had such huge downloads and I took so much from it and I had to digest it. It didn't feel right for me to show up on the podcast because I didn't feel I had the energy to hold it because I was going through a lot myself. So the Reiki itself, I've never had it, so I didn't really know what to expect. It was very powerful. So the way Claudia does it is she does guided meditation with the Reiki at the same time. So as she's doing the Reiki, you know, with the energies, she's doing the work that she does. She's also taking you through a guided meditation, which was really powerful. I really enjoyed it. We chatted beforehand. She understood about me and what had happened to me in the past. I've told about my traumas. She said, could you pinpoint these feelings? And I said, I don't really know. I said, I think everything really comes back to that. And she went, I think you have pinpointed it then. And she was right. Everything, any negative feeling, any negative pattern, any vicious cycle, any toxicity, any imposter syndrome, any doubt, it always comes back to the one thing. The incident that happened when I was 15. It all comes back to that. Like I said before, it wasn't just the situation that happened, it was everything that come after it as well. She did ask me, are you open to talking to your younger self, so 15-year-old Amy? I said yes, feel in a safe space. I have tried to do that before, but it's never really quite clicked. I've done a lot of future work, but the past one, it's like my body stops me. I don't allow myself to go back there. It's like I just shut, it's like a barrier that goes up, right? So I said, yes, I am, because I feel safe with you. Let's try it. She started from the top and went down to the bottom of my body. When she come down to my sacral, so my pelvis, my womb area, my sacral chakra, the most intense thing happened. It was very, very powerful, but I don't know how to explain it. She basically had her hands, and it was like this immense energy, and it was just this build. It was the most intense feeling, and I don't know how to explain it, but it was wild. Like, I could feel everything in that area. Let's put a pin in that, because I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, while that's important. The guided meditation she took me through was really beautiful. I actually cried, had tears rolling down my face, because it was very powerful. I was walking through an oasis. There was a table with 3 chairs. I sat down. Then 15-year-old Amy comes in, and it was me talking to her. So what would I say to her? Instantly, in my visualization, I grabbed her hand instantly, and I get goosebumps even just thinking about it now. I grabbed her hand instantly, and I was like, bitch, you're going to be okay. Like, you're going to be okay. Everything will be okay. You are going to come out of this. It's not going to be this dark forever. You are going to go to have the most beautiful, amazing life, and you're going to experience love that you would, like, you don't even understand, like, what love is right now. Like, you are going to experience it. And I just reassuring to her, telling her, you know, she is enough, and like, I just being that source that I just didn't have when I was 15, right? So that was very emotional and very powerful anyway. Then next person comes in, which is the future me. So my future me was only about 10 years older, and she came in. Instead of me talking to her, she had a message for me. Now, it was funny, because what I had said to younger me, she basically mimicked and said it to me. And I thought, wow, and again, I got goosebumps. That's fucking powerful, because I obviously need to hear that. As much as I'm saying it, because I felt like I needed to hear it at 15, I obviously still subconsciously need to hear that now. So that was really interesting. And then we was hugging, and then like we all sat down and we was plaiting each other's hair. So I was plaiting the younger me, my older self was plaiting my hair, which was really beautiful. And actually, when I looked into the meaning of that, because that wasn't part of the guided meditation to say sit down, plait each other's hair, that was just what came naturally through. When I went back and I looked it up, it was like how we're all in, like, all versions of me are integrating together. And then there was a presence that come through, and it was like God, the universe, whoever, but it was just this orb, like this figure of like bright white energy. And basically that energy scooped all 3 of us up, and this is where I got emotional. And it said, you're enough. Each one of you are enough. You've always been enough. Every version of you that has been, is going to be, is current, all of you are enough. And that obviously was what I needed to hear, and that's what touched me the most. It was incredible. After the meditation and the Reiki, I sat down with Claudia, we went through it, and she said, what did you feel? And I said about things, and I said, and also, when you was working around my pelvis, like my womb, my sacral, I said, I felt this amazing energy, like it was, I don't know how to explain it. I was like, what is that? And she's like, wow. She said, she actually said, I'm going to journal about this later, because she said, I've never experienced that of anyone. She was like, it was so powerful. She went, I was overwhelmed with this feeling. And she said, I actually had to stop myself from bursting into tears, because it was so strong. And she said her hands, like, she was almost like shaking because it was so powerful. And now I felt that, and I was like, whoa. So that was really intense for her to say, I felt this in this area. I was like, fuck. I felt that too. Like, it was just insane. So if you haven't done Reiki, I 100% would go and do it, because it was the most wonderful, exciting, liberating experience I've ever had, and it's given me so much clarity. So like I said, if you're local, please go to Claudia. She's fucking incredible. If you're not local to Kent, then chat to her online. I was meeting my old self and my new self, and like I said, it was all connecting with the platinum. We're all connecting together, and it was like this moment of I'm not learning something new, I'm remembering something old. I met the version of me before the world hardened me, or as the world was hardening me, and I also met a version of me in a very soft energy of, you know, me through healing. So what I've digested since is a few things. One of which is I'm a very intuitive person. I'm I have quite a strong sense of intuition. I feel everything. I am a huge empath. I feel energies. I can feel a room shift. I can feel somebody shift. I am so on the point and so on the ball, and I'm not just saying this to blow smoke up my ass. I know as soon as if you switch your energy with me, I know it immediately. I never used to be vocal about it because this is what I've learned through Reiki. I've actually been scared of my intuition because I connected it to trauma. I believed I was hypersensitive, overly paranoid because of my trauma. So I questioned everything. Obviously, I spent a lot of years leading up to the trauma and after the trauma being gaslit by friends, relationships, etc. So I've always questioned, and I just put it down to it's trauma. So I would avoid it and I wouldn't want to voice it because I was frightened of it. And actually what this Reiki session and what afterwards has taught me is that I've always been intuitive. It wasn't the trauma. The trauma, yes, it did heighten. It did heighten that intuition. I think with the trauma, for a long time I didn't trust myself because after it happened, there was a gap before it was actually, like I said, admitted to me exactly what happened. And I didn't trust myself because I kept having them nightmares, night terrors, and the visions of it coming back, and it was horrible. But I was in a fight with myself because I didn't want to believe that had happened, but I knew it had happened. So I didn't trust myself. The gaslighting with relationships and friendships, I didn't trust my judgment. So the intuition I put down to trauma, but actually that's always been me. I've just buried it and been frightened of it because I believed it was a trauma response. So I've put it off. So that's something I learned, which is amazing. Because recently, as I've been healing, naturally I've been more vocal about my intuition because Luke would be like, oh yeah, of course, now it's happened, you say it. I'm like, no, bitch. Like, I've had some really crazy shit happen where I'm like, I literally knew that. Or like I said to Luke, even recently I had something happen with somebody that I know, and I knew the energy shift. This was like months and months ago. I knew there was an energy shift, and I said, so-and-so has shifted. I said, I don't know why. Don't ask me exactly how, but the energy has shifted and I know something weird's going on. Months go by. Something happened which made me go, I think definitely something's going on now. And then a few weeks ago, I was hit with a mic drop. Everything I knew, everything I had like predicted happened. Like, I knew it because of the energy my intuition told me. I've had dreams of my auntie when she passed. I had a dream of her that night, and then my mum rings me in the morning saying she'd passed in the night. My granddad, I knew. My dad knocked on my door and I opened the door and I said, because it was a weird time for him to be at my house, right? And I was like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, the barber. I just was going to go to the barber's, but it's shut. It's not open for another half an hour, so I thought I'd come in for a cup of tea. I was like, oh, I thought he was coming to tell me, like, granddad had died. And he was just looked at me, he went, no. Anyway, have a cup of tea. Later that day, my nan and my mum come and told me my granddad had passed away that night. My dad did know, but he didn't want to be the one to tell me. So he was like, whoa, don't know. Where did that come from? I've had so many instances happen, like with a certain family member on Luke's side. As soon as I met them, I just knew something weren't right. 11 years later, boom, mic drop, shit comes out. I knew it, called it. I just understand energies. I don't really know how, but it's just part of me, and maybe my trauma heightened that, but now I feel so much more open and connected to allow that and be vocal about it. You know, if you think I'm weird, then I don't fucking care, but I know my intuition is always on point, and I think a lot of us cloud it because we don't trust ourselves, and that's what mine was. I did not trust myself because of what had happened to me, and as well, I was point blank lied to for a long time, and I was then admitted stuff to, but then they lied about it to other people, and then I had people telling me I was a liar about things, and it was a very hard time, and I just didn't fucking know. Then I had my boyfriend who was cheating all the time, and they told me he wasn't cheating, even though it was point blank. I had the hard evidence in my hand. I had a best friend who was like fucking gaslighting me and telling me I'm doing these things when I wasn't, and I had a lot of noise. And so I didn't ever trust my judgment. So that's something that's liberated me. So that is incredible. And in this last week, I've realised with the trauma, I was confusing awareness with danger, the sensitivity with chaos, because I always thought I was too sensitive, always been told I'm too sensitive. But actually, intuition is calm and the trauma is noisy. For the first time in this last week, my whole life makes sense. Like, I feel like it was the final piece of the puzzle just clicked and everything makes sense. And for the first time in I don't know how long, like the first time, if ever, I trust myself and I feel safe enough to do it, which is so empowering. And like, I just feel so connected to me. So my second breakthrough, which is probably the most important one, Claudia actually said this to me. After our session, she said, Amy, you give when you have nothing to give. As soon as you get something, as soon as you have any energy, as soon as you get anything, you give it. And even when you don't have anything, you give. When actually you should be giving from overflow. That hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. I came home and I digested it and I sat with that. And honestly, again, it's like just this massive download. It's like every single thing of my life just came and made sense, especially the last 5 years of running my businesses. I give from empty. Even though I was telling myself I'm filling my own cup and I am taking care of myself, when I actually got really deep down, and this is where I was so confused in episode 21, because I was like, what the fuck? Like, where does that come from? I now know. Because I genuinely didn't feel worthy. And I didn't know this on the surface. Like, if you'd said to me, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm worthy. Like, I'm doing my healing. I know my worth. I feel great. But actually, when I really dug in and I opened myself up and I allowed that, and I from the intuition, we're trusting. I felt safe to trust myself. And when I dug into it over the next few days after Reiki, I realised I give from empty. I don't have anything in the tank. I give because, for two reasons. I give because no one gave to me when I needed it. And I just don't want anyone to feel like that. So I give out of feeling I have to save everyone. I feel I have to be a saviour because nobody saved me. I'm getting emotional now. Nobody saved me, and I feel like I have to save people, like it's like what I'm supposed to do. When actually, I'm not destined to save people at the expense of me. I'm meant to help people from overflow of giving to me, not the other way around. I learned that, and I also learned that I actually didn't feel worthy to have it, because like I said, it wasn't just the trauma, it wasn't just the incidents that happened to me, it was everything that come with it. You know, taught to silence myself, didn't ever feel good enough, didn't feel worthy. Why has this stuff happened to me? I'm the problem. It's all because of me, because I can't be that great of a person if this shit happens to me. That's how I felt, and I think I've carried that with me for a long time, and that's why I put so much intense pressure on myself to do good, because it doesn't matter how many people tell me they're proud of me, I don't feel it. And that's because I don't feel proud of me. And I will say it to everyone, how proud I am of them. And I give and I give and I give. And actually, it's a trauma response, because I want to feel it, but I don't give it to me. So that's what I learned. And that's why I had to have a week off of doing a podcast, because it was a lot to digest. I just want to be everyone's saviour, when actually the only person I need to save is myself, because I can't help everyone without helping me first. When actually I had it the other way around, where I thought the more people I help, I'll feel better. And it would make me feel like I have a purpose and a meaning. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at, honeys. So yeah, I told you I was going to be very honest and open, but this is all things that I've just learned. Like, the week before, I actually thought, I'm doing great, and I'm going to be real again. I'm losing my hair because I am really, giving. I'm just giving a lot, and I'm losing my hair, which isn't the first time this has happened. I go really thin here at the front, which is really, I feel really vulnerable admitting that. I just thought I was doing the best for everyone, when actually I've not been doing the best for me. So I'm going to take my own advice. So that's why I'm not working weekends anymore. That's why I've closed the doors on my programs for now. don't get me wrong, like, I don't want people to think I'm saying this to be like, oh my God, so she's lived a lie. Because I haven't. I was in a cycle and I was on a hamster wheel I didn't actually realise I was on until this last week, of having this epiphany of like, fuck, like, shit, you've been really given. And my mum, I think I said this in episode 21, my mum has told me this for years. She's like, you're in a drama triangle, sis. She's a coach. You're in a drama triangle, hun, because you're the saviour. You want to save everyone. You can't save everyone. I'm like, shut up. Yeah, I can. But now I understand what she means. And Claire, you're right, hun. So if you're watching this, mama, you was right all along. I realised I've just given and given and given, because deep down I thought for me to be worthy and have a purpose and feel like I could deserve to feel, I had to give, and I had to earn my worth of how useful I was to everybody else, because I disguised it as being strong, like the strong friend, the strong person, empathy, but actually I was just exhausted. I was just exhausted, terrified. God, I didn't expect to be this emotional, man. I just had no boundaries and just terrified. And if I wasn't pouring into everyone else, and if I stopped saving everyone, I have to like face the truth, the realisation, like, I don't think I'm worthy to have love or happiness. I think it's coming apparent why I couldn't film last week, guys. I don't even know if I can film this week. No, I'm joking. Sorry, it's the trauma. I have that sense of humour. I don't know what I look like because I can't stop crying now. Let me just compose myself, guys. I wasn't tired because, like, my life was heavy, or because everything was heavy. Because don't get me wrong, I look back at the last 5 years and I think, wow. Like, generally this week I have thought, wow. Like, I've created amazing things and I know I am worthy, like, now. And I have created amazing things, and I've got my children and an amazing husband, amazing businesses, amazing friends, connections. Amazing. But the realisation is my life wasn't heavy. I was just tired. Been tired for a long time without realising it, of carrying everyone else's emotions, whilst deep down never, I guess, believing that I deserved my own softness, my own, I don't know what the right word is, but just not feeling deserving of it, I guess. And again, like, I really want to stress this is very subconscious stuff, because only in the last week I've digested and understood this. For a long time, like, you saw episode 21. If you didn't listen or watch it, please go back and watch it. You'll see the difference. And that was only 2 weeks ago, and had a week off in between to understand this. 2 weeks prior, I'm like, what is this? Like, what the fuck is this? Where does this come from? I thought, you know, I'm on this healing journey, I'm doing this, and this is what I always say, healing is a journey. It is not continually going up. It's like life, it's like business. Anything in your life is going to be up, down, up, down, up, down. It's going to be stagnant, then it's going to drop, then it's going to come back up, and healing's no different. Healing doesn't end. Healing is a forever thing. Like, I've still got shit to come in my life that I then will have to heal from. Do you know what I mean? Like, I ain't done. Sorry about all the sniffs, guys. I feel like very sniffly. Just can't stop crying. Get it together, girl. Honestly. Maybe I won't be able to have a week off now again. I've all this emotion built up. I spent years suppressing. I spent years healing. And I'm on this emotional roller coaster that I'm on with you. And this is why I do this. I thought to myself when I started it, and I've said this multiple times, I built something that I needed when I was 15, but actually I'm building something I still need now. And this shit ain't really spoken about, you know. All we see is all the fucking great time, great life that everyone's having for social media and everything they're living. We don't see actually the real shit, and a lot of these people don't realise actually they're real demons, if you like, that they're battling every day. So this is why I do it, because I want to help women through helping me. And that's that. So what a wild fucking ride. And I've realised in the last week, choosing me, and I actually spoke about this last night a little bit with my girls on our call, choosing yourself, the highest form of discipline. I've said this before and I'll say it again, but this time it's down in my soul. Me choosing me just makes me better for you guys. Me choosing me and giving to me makes me better, because you're going to have from my overflow. You're not going to have from my dusty ass fucking cup. You're going to be having from my overflow, because I'm going to have so much to give, rather than the other way around, where I'm giving because I feel like I have, like that's the only way that I'm going to maybe achieve something or feel purpose or feel worthy. So I'm not just doing myself a justice, I'm doing everyone else a justice too, and that's kind of how I've pieced that together. So with that, let's do your Healing Girl homework. You could do it with me, because this is me last week. So I want you tonight to just hand on your heart in a quiet space, maybe like, you know, just before you're going to bed. Take some deep breaths, sit up. Not like me, I'm sat in the corner all crazy. I'm going to have to get a pillow to put behind me, I think, because I slouch like this in this chair and then I'm gone. But I like having my pillow here. And also, I was without the pillow and I was going to record, but then because I'm wearing brown, I'm mixing in with the chair. And I was like, it's too... No, I've got to have the pillow. And plus, I like to have it like as a little... I don't know, what is this? Texture? I like it. If anyone's just listening, I just have a cow print fluffy pillow. And I like to, like, stroke it and touch it and scratch it, because that's just me, innit? But anyway, so tonight, hand on your chest. And I want you to ask yourself this. I've written this down. Where have I been giving from empty? Where have I abandoned myself? And what would I change if I treated myself the way I treat everyone else? And that hit me when I sat with that. Write the answers out. Hand on your chest, really feel it. Like, I know some of you might be like, ooh, but just do it. Just fucking do it. Get yourself in that moment and just feel it. And whatever comes, you write it down. And I'm telling you now, whatever you fucking write down is your next chapter. That's how you're going to move into your next chapter. That's how we're moving into 2026. You're not too sensitive. You were just unboundaried. You're not overwhelmed. You're just over giving. And you're not lost. You're remembering. And this is your rebirth just as much as it is mine, because bitch, you can. So thank you so much for listening and watching this week's episode. I know it was a bit of a heavy one, but like I said, the whole point of this podcast to be so open, real and honest. And also that is the point of Activated. I feel like all of this had to happen now really to help me bring even more to Activated. So you best believe, fuck me, Activated's just gone up a notch. So if you felt moved by that, bitch, what you playing at? Activated is happening on Monday the 19th of January, and you need to be there. If this felt like fucking hell, even if you relate to a little part of this episode, well, like I say, any of the episodes, but definitely this one, bitch, you need to be at Activated, because it's going to turn your world upside down all around, hickledy-pickledy, like we love it, in the best fucking way. And it's going to bring you back home to yourself. Like I said at the beginning, it's not about learning something new. It's about remembering, really remembering and building from that, and unpicking all the shit and putting the puzzle pieces back together to bring you back to that, so you can live your best possible life and build your best fucking business, but actually being aligned to you and not being a slave to yourself. Activated right now is on Black Friday, so as you're listening to this, you have until Monday the 1st of December. You buy one ticket, but you actually get two. So how you can do this is you can buy a ticket, you can gift it to somebody who you're like, bitch, you're coming with me because you fucking need this just as much as me. I ain't gatekeeping. Let's go and rise together and do this together. Or you can split it. So it works out like less than 80 quid each. You can split it with your bestie, your ride or die, your mum, your sister. I've got people bringing their mum or their sister or their cousin or their best friend who maybe don't even have a business. They just have a motherfucking dream that they've been sat on for way too long. That is for those as well. So any woman in business, any woman who doubts herself, any woman who has a fucking dream, bring her, come and get activated. I cannot tell you how important this shit is. Let this episode just be the proof in the pudding of like, what the fuck? Like, honestly, I feel so clear, like I've never felt this before, and I'm so grateful that I get to share it with you. I'm so grateful that you have tapped in, you've watched this, you've listened to me. I'm so proud of you. But this week, I'm also proud of me too. But I'm forever proud of you. And I'm so grateful to you for being here, listening, taking the time to do this work for you, but also taking this time to really listen and just being here for your old gal Jonesy. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Love you, bye.